Now we are. Okay. But I'm trying to see how I can see. It don't matter at this point.
It really don't, because it's already loud, Chad.
Yeah. Hey, everybody.
Look at us.
Listen. Hey. I'm trying to make sure I can see the comments on my phone because I didn't do like I was supposed to do. But welcome to Hustle with a Purpose. This is our first episode for 2025. I need to have
2025.
2025. I need to have like the
Girl, I do it for you. Hold on.
2025. 2025. So this is the first episode, and me and Rhonda always have these great conversations as entrepreneurs, right? But last year we kind of got it going, and so this is our first episode for 2025, and we figured why not start off with a bang where we're saying, listen, as entrepreneurs, we sometimes lie to ourselves. Like we have these high expectations on what we gonna do throughout the year. Some people are a fan of vision boards, and you write all this stuff down, but it tends to be a problem with executing. So we figured, why not start 2025 off with a conversation about stop lying to yourself? We figured girls stop lying because we are female, so it made it easier than like girls/boys stop lying. But
It really need to be good. Stop
girl,
lying.
like
Good.
girl, GURLE.
That part. And Stephanie made a real good point. 2025, we started off with a bang. This is our time to shine. And why not start off with a wonderful topic like this? So, Stephanie, tell us who you are real quick. Just keep it under 30 seconds.
30 seconds. Stephanie Harmon. I own Stephanie R. Harmon Inc. And we provide services where we help transportation providers kind of jump into that entrepreneurship journey. And then we also still offer transportation or NEMT services in North Carolina.
Okay.
And so we're gonna let Rhonda do it in that 30 seconds.
What about 30 seconds start? Okay. My name is Rhonda. I'm the owner of Bella May Designs and BAD Transfers, where we help new and existing creatives keep their expenses low and their profits high by offering quality DTF prints. But we are pivoting because we offer digital products as well. We are pivoting. We offer a variety of digital products. So check me out.
The digital products, I think, even just to piggyback off what you said, like those digital products, I think sometimes, and even as we kind of get into this conversation about girls stop lying, like when we first met and we talked about it in the first time last year, we was like, oh, me and Rhonda first met. We came from different worlds, like our businesses were completely different, but we both were crafters at heart. But we formed this sisterhood, and I think a lot of people as entrepreneurs miss that piece of having a person to bounce stuff off of. Because me and Rhonda, like a couple of other entrepreneurs I know, like we have these think tank sessions all the time to where it might be a good idea in my head,
right?
But like I need somebody, sometimes you need somebody that's gonna poke holes in it. You need somebody that may say, have you thought about it this way? And so when as an entrepreneur over time, we both kind of learned that you cannot take this journey on your own as a business owner, or you can't make that first $1 million or that $1 million by yourself. And we end up getting on this silo or this little island where we're like, oh well, I can figure it out. And I'm like, no, I done tried that. That don't work.
Right. Or you can do it all by yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I got this. I don't need no help. I can do this by myself. I don't need any help. But the truth of the matter is that we all need help. in some
Yeah.
shape or form, whether it be bouncing ideas off of somebody
Hmm.
or, just help.
Just
Just
legit help. Like sometimes it's very hard, and we may know that both as just being um what people like to say is, I hate to say this word, like, and I'm just gonna say like
air quote.
strong women.
Right.
And so as I just think as a culture, as a race, we
Hmm.
struggle with that piece of just saying, I don't know what the hell I'm doing over
Exactly.
here. Let me reach out to somebody that can help me. And it
That's
could
right.
be somebody that you already know,
Hmm.
but we've all struggled with that whole idea. So that's where the girls stopped lying, because me and Rhonda was like, what are we going to, like, what's the first, as we laying out what episodes and how they look,
Right.
we're like, okay, 2025, everybody is on this high, this roller coaster. You got Pastor Mike saying, it's my year,
It is our year.
2025. Listen, it's my year, 2025 is it.
Mhm.
But then if you haven't really worked
Yeah,
on from 2024, like what does 2025 really look like then?
exactly. Exactly. So many people tell lies to themselves. I feel like I feel like everybody thinks that just because it's a new year, well, I guess you do get new opportunities, but you have to be realistic with it. You know
Right,
what I'm
right.
saying? You have to be realistic with it. You have to wholeheartedly, all of those things that you say that you want to do, you have to do it. You have to execute them. Like if you're not going to do it, what's the point? What's the point? You
Yeah,
lying to you telling yourself lies. It's bad enough that other people sit up here and tell you lies. You sit up here lying to yourself. So what is the whole purpose of that? Like you are basically self-sabotaging yourself. That's a form of
at the beginning,
self-sabotage.
and it really is, like, even though you say that, because I had that, and that's just going into 2025. Like, I think I was at a point like I want to add these other services,
Mm-hmm.
but I know I have the knowledge, and I'm constantly learning. And so
Mm-hmm.
then I'm thinking like, at some time I was just like, can I really do this? Like, can
Right,
I add something else to my plate? Am I going to
right.
pivot in my business? And even because my business is, when I started, for the most part, is transportation.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I know that I can talk to you about transportation, about it. It don't matter. Like,
Right,
if you talking about passenger transportation, then you could ask me how you start. You can tell me how you can ask me how you market. You can ask me anything about passenger transportation,
right,
and I'm able to pretty much answer your question or say, oh, well, I'm not sure, but I know you probably need to go here to start your research.
right,
But when it comes to, like you saying, that pivot or adding other services, sometimes I know for me, that's where I'm like, I learned it, and you spend all this time doing all this research and getting all this done, and I need to do, but nothing never gets done. And
right.
so sometimes it's like 2024, I had all of these goals. I was supposed to do this. And then when you go into 2025, well, what the hell happened to the stuff that you didn't do in 2024?
It rolled over to 2025.
But what if it didn't roll over?
No, this is the thing. The lie that they told in 2024 rolled over to 2025. Because think about it. So
You saying the lie, the
the
actual
lie,
lie, not the
the actual
thing.
lie. The actual
Oh,
lie
yeah,
rose
yeah,
from
yeah, yeah.
2024 because think about it, especially in the industry that I'm in, I do DTFs, I help people do t-shirt business and digital products, all that great stuff. But the fact remains is I can count on both my hands and my feet the number of times that people tell me, well, I'm going to do this, Rhonda. I know this. I know I
Mhm.
need to do this. And they never do it. They was lying to themselves last year and they lied to themselves this year. This is a fresh year. We
A
are
whole, you
28
got a
days in.
fresh fresh 365.
Right, right. We
But
are 28 days in, and the same lie that they was telling last year is the same lie that they telling today. So
so
where
what
does
do
it
you
stop?
think? So what? So how do you? So I guess even when we talk about girl stop lying or girl stop lying,
Just
like
stop
how
lying.
do people? But if that's what you know, so let's say, for example, and I can just use maybe somebody that I might have did a consultation with. I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
say might have because somebody I might have did a consultation with maybe in the last year,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm saying, like, listen, if you want to work with, if you want to start Passion Transportation, or if you want to provide these NEMT services, here's some things that you want to do, and you have to do this. Like, it's not an
It's
option.
not
Like,
optional.
you don't get to skip steps. And
Mm-hmm.
so, what I'm finding in my industry is that people want the microwave effect of a business. So you might look at Stephanie right now and say, well, dang, she looked well put together. She looked like, when I talk to her, I feel like she know what she's talking about. I can trust what she's saying because she has some experience based on me talking to her, right? But you want what Stephanie has right now. Like, you
Right.
don't want me to tell you that you have this, or you purchased a vehicle to transport your clients, but
Mm-hmm.
you don't have a website. You don't even know who your target customer is. You just went and bought a van. And
Right.
so sometimes, and I'm gonna say, like, I feel like it's 50-50 when I talk to people, is
Mm-hmm.
that the foundation or the fundamentals of running a business is missing.
It
Like,
is.
is like missing, only because, and I think a lot of times that's just social media. I think
Mm-hmm.
social media has made people believe that, after you made it's very easy to make 10-20K a month,
It's
and
not.
then you can go buy a Bugatti, or I'm saying, you can go and vacation wherever you want to, or you don't even have to. You can just hire people and they'll make the money for, like, these delusions have forced some entrepreneurs into what to me is where the girls stop lying.
But also, with everything that you said, when people look at established business owners or whatever, they feel as if, it didn't take the hard work. They didn't have to do the grind because we make it look easy. We make it look
Mm.
easy. I have people all the time that tell me, hey, Rhonda, I'm trying to be like you. I was like, wait a minute.
Wait a
wait,
minute.
wait a minute. Because you don't know the things that I had to go through and the things that I had to put up with and the things that I still deal with right now, as a business owner that people don't even know about. They don't know about the late nights. They don't know about networking to people. They don't know about researching and, trying to find vendors and all this stuff right here. They just see the end product. Oh, Rhonda, she making all this money. I just want to be like her. But
Mm.
they don't have that drive and determination behind them that fuels everything that I
Mm.
go through.
I
You know,
think I think like you gotta go back to what you just said, and we gotta just like stop right there. Like, put, how they say, put a pin in
put
that.
a pin in it.
Put a pin in that right there.
Mm-hmm.
So what when you say drive,
Mm-hmm.
what does drive mean to you? Like, when you talk to somebody and they like, Rhonda, I want to be like you, and I want to have what you have, or whatever however that conversation looks.
Mm-hmm.
And 2 weeks later, you follow up with that person, and you like, well, did you do this, and this, or you got that part done? And like, no, I had this happen.
Mm-mm.
What does drive? What does that drive and determination look like to Rhonda? Like, what does that look like?
You push through excuses. You push through
Mm,
excuses because I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna give you a point in this example right here. Now, what I did was it the best thing to do?
mhm,
Absolutely not. But it'll show you the dedication. Like right after my daddy died, right after my daddy
mhm.
died, I was
Right.
out a week. I was out a
Mm.
week and went right back to work.
I remember that.
and went right back. I could have sat in the fact that my dad had just passed and I want everybody to feel sorry for me, or I know that the end goal of what I was trying to achieve by the end of the year. And what's crazy about it is that I speak about the end goal. I hit my goal for the year and didn't even realize it. You know what I'm saying? So, you push through excuses and I really hate to say it like this, but I hate when people come to me with excuses, because my response to them is, do you want it or do you don't? How bad do you want it? Because at the end of the day,
want it or do you not?
Because at the end of the day, I stay up late. I go to sleep at 12, be right back up at 4.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have that determination? Because I can't lose. I can, but I'm not. I can, but
right. It's not an option.
It's not an option, especially when you're relying on this as your sole income. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of different when people work and they have a business, because they have the mindset of, if this doesn't work, then I got my check. But when you are 100% entrepreneur, you can't sit on excuses. You can't wallow in pity. And I think a lot of new entrepreneurs, they want people to feel sorry for them. I don't feel sorry for you, because at the end of the day, no, seriously, at the end of the day, how bad do you want it?
I think that's what it kind of boils down to. Because I had this conversation with a person today doing a consultation, and they were just like, so I work, what is that? Like, I work a 9 to 5. What does that look like? And when did you know that it's time to take that leap of faith to be a full-time entrepreneur? And I was like, so what I think a lot of people miss, and I don't want to make it about, people take it however they want to, but what a lot of people miss in their business is that God element. And so a lot of times how I did it, if I tell somebody I took a leap because I knew that God had my back, I already knew. Like, whether I definitely messed some stuff up along the way, but sometimes people just kind of take this leap and leave their 9 to 5 and haven't consulted. And you know what I'm saying? You just kind of doing
about any numbers. You had
like you ain't checked on for my industry. Like, it's a lot of people that just go out and get a vehicle and they haven't checked commercial insurance. Like, they don't even know who their customer is. They just assuming that I purchased this handicap or this wheelchair accessible van, and people need transportation, so they're gonna call me until the phone don't ring. Exactly. And now you got to take your vehicle and put it on Facebook Marketplace because you don't even have a website. You ain't even got a phone number. And so you haven't even done the fundamentals on even to not understand, like, how do you put your services or your product in front of your client? Like, how do you don't even know.
Haven't set the foundation.
And so people struggle with when you tell them that. And so if you tell me, like, well, how do I I'm trying to make money. Is this industry, can I make money? I immediately say, listen, I'm not for you. I can't help. I can't fix, because I can't fix your mindset. Like, I can't fix your mindset. Like, if that's how you going into a business thinking, how much money can I make, or is this a lucrative business? That just tell me you ain't did no daggone research at all.
That part. And that just goes back to what I'm saying. People jump into things like when I left my job or whatever, I was pushed out of my job. I was pushed out of my job, and it wasn't pushed out of my job because I was doing a bad job. God was like, it's time for you to go.
It's time to go.
And as much as I was trying to hold on to that job, it didn't work. Everything that I tried to do, it didn't work. And my business, it was extremely lucrative when I was working, and it warranted me leaving, but I was still trying to hold on. But even with that, when people have t-shirt businesses, they'll leave their job as well because they think, oh, the customers will come. But at the end of the day, I'm gonna say this for to take you back. It's 50 people.
It's 50 people. Listen,
It's 50 people that do the exact same thing that you do. Do the exact same thing that you do. And what they fail to realize is that they're not willing to do the work to make themselves stand out so that people will recognize them for what it is that they do. And they'll sit in the excuse of, oh, well, they know I make t-shirts. Look, I know 15 people that do body butter and probably can't name 2 right now.
Right.
Unless you make me remember who you are, you're lost out. Unless you in constantly in their face, and they don't want to.
That's constantly. I think. Well, you know how people feel like, oh, I don't really like to talk. I always get that I'm an introvert, or I don't really like to talk to people that much. Oh, well, you probably need to keep your 9 to 5.
Let me tell you something. I am a huge introvert. Huge. Like, I'm okay with sitting over there in the corner. But when it comes to my business, and handling business, baby, I'll turn it. Look, I know how to turn it on and off.
Turn it on real fast.
Real quick.
But do you think that's because we both are full-time entrepreneurs and we don't have, it's not an option. So if we don't get it done, and I'm not saying like the day-to-day stuff, I'm just saying if I don't pay attention to when it's time for me to remove a service, add a service, if I know this marketing plan isn't working, if I know this service ain't really making, what I'm saying, it ain't really be giving me no money for the last 3 months, I know it's time to let that go. But sometimes you come across, or sometimes as entrepreneurs, we just kind of stick with stuff because we don't have nothing else to fall on and nobody else, we like, well, this ain't working, let me figure out something else. But I don't think you should go, 4 or 5 months and something ain't working.
Oh, this is good right here. This is good.
Like, if you know that it's not working, and I had to learn that because you know how we internalize, this my baby, this my thing. But when you really think about it, if you offer a product or service, then it's really not your thing.
Right.
Like it's the consumer. So if you offer a product or service and you're relying on customers to go to your website or however, if you're saying, well, I don't really think, no, you need to have facts, like numbers to back up to say, but we get so stuck on, well, this is my thing, so I feel like I need to keep going, when good and doggone well, you ain't made $1.
Girl, you done went down the rabbit hole so many times. Because first and foremost, people hold on to, especially businesses, just to say that they have a business. Like they could have not made 1 cent. Oh, I got a business. Okay, so how much money did you make last year? They don't know because they don't track. They don't keep, account of expenses. They don't know what's coming in, what's coming out. The only thing they do is robbing Peter to pay Paul, basically.
Listen.
Because it goes into pricing, it goes into a product, and they hold on to it like, why are you holding on to this business and it's not a benefit for you? It's not bringing in any source of income. You lying to yourself.
You lying.
Basically, you put on the road for everybody else.
You lying. And man, listen. That right there is a whole thing. That's a whole thing where people just want to say they're in business. And it's a whole thing. And I just know for my industry and business owners that I talk to, that they will say, well, I just wanna be able to kind of get my feet wet, or as long as I can pay my insurance or my bills in my business, then I'm okay. And so it's very hard for me as a person that offers professional services to say, you probably just need to go back and find a job.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because there's no way, if my profit margin, when I look at my profit margin from year after year, where I make nothing. Now,
Mm-hmm.
and to me, it's a difference if I'm doing something and, you know, one month or a couple of months is here. I got my slow months where, but from transportation of
Mm-hmm.
people, it doesn't make any sense to say I'm just, you know, doing this, or I might be working with a third party company or a broker
Mm-hmm.
to just get clients, just to kind of get an understanding of the business and get stuff going. And that reminded me, like, well, that's like a 9 to 5. You know, you start a new job and you know
Mm-hmm.
the schedule, you get the worst schedule. If you got an office, you get the worst office, and you got to
Mm-hmm.
work your way up. To me, that's the same thing.
But
And
that's
I'm
the
like, well,
worker
that
ant
ain't
mentality.
this.
That's like the worker ant mentality. Like they talking about they have to get their feet wet and they just want to try. And I understand. I understand trying new things, however, comma. Like either you gonna do it or you not. You gonna do it or you not. Like that's a lie. I just want to get my feet wet. No, you just trying to see how fast this can be lucrative for you. If you just wanna call it what it is. You
Yeah,
know.
I think and listen, well, the reason why we saying girls stop lying, because I done lied to myself, because I know with transportation, like I started this thing, I left my 9 to 5 and I said, um, just, you know, this what I'm doing. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But I lied to myself when I said I don't need help. I
Mm-hmm.
didn't need to get a consult, like, you know, a coach or a mentor. I didn't need a tribe. Not, I want to say a daggone village.
Look at you. High five.
You know what I'm saying? Like, because if I would have just done it, if I would have just stayed in my little cubbyhole where I was,
Mm-hmm.
I would not be where I am. No,
Right.
no. Like, if I didn't have people holding me accountable saying, well, damn, like, why is you still doing that? Or did you think about this? Or Stephanie, you said 2 months ago you was gonna do this. Did you
Mm-hmm.
do it?
Mm-hmm.
And all out of love, not
Mm-hmm.
from a bad place.
Right.
But if I didn't have you, if I didn't have like other people in my circle, like
Mm-hmm.
holding me accountable, saying, well, why are you doing that? Like,
Mm-hmm.
that don't even make no sense. Or,
Right.
well, last time I talked to you, you said you was gonna have this going, and you talking about you wrote it on your damn board, and I did, but it's still looking at me on the board.
Right. Right. Right.
So
Right.
it's not, to me, it's not like a dig to say that you lying to yourself or you feel like, I think all of us as business owners kind of have days. I
Mm-hmm.
quit and I fire myself at least 4 days a week, and I only work 5 or 6 days. You know what I'm saying? But
I quit
I
twice
think
in one day.
sometimes but to me, the thing is, do you come back?
Yeah. Always. 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 And that's part of having dedication. You know,
Yeah.
it's part of having dedication and discipline.
Discipline is like, somebody said that to me. It might have been, what's the day? Wednesday, Tuesday, Tuesday. It might have was last week where it was like people just lack discipline. And I said I saw a reel, and I forgot who said it. And the quote was, or the comment was, you lack discipline because you lack your why.
Mm.
I said, damn. Okay.
That was
So
good.
then they broke it down and they said, so people that got stuff to do ain't got time to worry about other people shit. Like people that got shit to do
Right.
ain't got time to. But he said, so if I know my why, whatever your why is, your why could be, we all as a culture use this thing, generational wealth.
That
If
ain't my
you're
why.
And
That
that
ain't
ain't
my
no
why.
why, but people use that. So your why could be, I wanna leave my 9 to 5. I want to be able to hire my family. I want to be able to live comfortable after retirement. Whatever your why is,
Mm-hmm.
your why determines your discipline.
Mm-hmm.
Your why says, well, the only way that I can retire early and still live comfortable is that I get up and do this.
Right.
Your why determines your discipline. And I was like, yo, that's so true. So
Mm-hmm.
because some people may lack discipline, it may just because they not focused on their why.
Mm-hmm.
Like why they got in business, why they're doing what they're doing. And
Yeah.
so I don't think it's like a good or a bad thing. I think sometimes it's just, and then, that's why we're talking about it, because it's a new year,
Mm-hmm.
and now you have that time to really self-reflect on what you did last year that didn't work
Right.
and what you want to
Right.
do this year to fix what didn't work last year. Like
Exactly.
that might sound crazy, but
Mm-mm. It doesn't sound crazy at all. It makes a lot of sense. And I think a lot of people they do need to reflect on that,
yeah,
because that's the missing component. That's the missing component. Why you make t-shirts, why you sell DTS, why you do this. I know my why. And I tell people all the time, I was like, don't use your kids as your why.
yeah, no, that ain't no
Don't
good
do
one.
that. I
Like,
think if we gonna call it a book and not lie about it, I think that's a blanket excuse that people, or a blanket why that people use. It's an
yeah,
easy
I think because I think you ain't really thought about it. Like it's
Mm-mm.
easy to say, and I know you probably remember like when we both was in the group mentorship program years ago. Like everybody, when the whole conversation was about your why
Mhm,
and understanding your why,
mhm.
it was, oh, I'm doing. I think if it's 20 people at that on that mug, it was 10 that said
Their
my
kids.
kid. And
Mm-mm.
I'm like, well, what if your kids don't want to be in business with you? What if they don't
Nine
get
times,
to?
9 times out of 10, they not gonna want to be in business with you because they don't want to be bothered with you.
But what if they don't want to? Right? What if they have their own dreams and aspirations?
That part.
And so, how's your why and your kids? Like, how do they come together if they don't even know that they don't even know that they your why? Like,
Right, right. That part. I think that when it comes down to your why, you have to have it has to come from within. Like it has to solely be based on
mhm,
what you want and what you trying to achieve. It
yeah,
shouldn't have anything to do with anybody else. Because when I get up at 4 o'clock in the morning, it
ain't
ain't
nobody
about no
getting up with me.
kids. It ain't about none of that. It's about look. We finna make this day. We got stuff to do, and we need all this time to get it done.
Yeah, you got to get it done. I think I just know it's definitely days where I'm super lazy, like
Hmm.
mad lazy, and I know
Yeah.
I got stuff on my list. And even when people, I was, and this probably was a little while ago, my sister was like, "Man, I'm just such a big procrastinator," and I was like, "Okay, we're gonna have this talk about this procrastination. Like,
Mhm.
what is like?" Because I still feel like your why and your discipline, if you procrastinate, like all of that, to me, all of that's tied in. And
Yeah.
so I was like, so when you say you procrastinate, like, and you probably heard people say, like, I'm just a self-proclaimed procrastinator. Like I just procrastinate, or I work heavy, I work really good under pressure, right? And so
Mhm.
I told her one of the things that somebody said, I think it might have was at Bible study or something, I don't remember, but
Mhm.
procrastination is you telling God that he has to give you another chance at whatever that thing is.
Mhm.
And so when she was like, when she said it, I was like, so you're just assuming that he just gonna keep giving you chances
That
to
part.
do that thing.
That part.
And
Let me
guess
tell
what
you.
ends up happening? He's
Yeah.
going to take the thing that he told you to do that you kept procrastinating about. He gonna give that shit to somebody else.
Somebody else.
And
Give
you're
it
gonna
to
be like,
somebody else.
but I said I was coming. I said I was
Mhm.
coming. He was like, no, you took too long. Like,
You took too long. You
you took
can't
too
sit in
long.
it. You can't sit in it because it's a time and a place for everything.
Mm-hmm.
I know the plans that I have for you. Look, it's a time and a place where everything is supposed to happen. And if you don't move when you're supposed to move, then you lost your chance. And you may not even get that chance again.
You may not get it again. And I wholeheartedly, Rhonda, I know for a fact I've missed my mark several times. Like I missed that thing.
Mm-hmm.
I might have had this thing in my head, and I sent my friend. I sent him a message or a reel or something, and it was like, don't. And I'm paraphrasing, but it was around like whatever. Sometimes you get these dreams at night. Sometimes you have these thoughts, and you write these dreams down, but move on them. Like only the worst that could happen is it don't work.
Let me tell you something, Stephanie. Let me tell you something. I said this the other day. I said, I bet you if I get it again, I won't fumble it. That was for one thing. Look, I done missed it several times. But we passed by this place. And I said a long time ago, I said, I need to get me a parking lot or something where truckers can just go and just park their truck. They pay like a monthly fee or whatever.
Yep.
And it eats me up every time I pass that parking lot. Because I was like, that I'm supposed to be doing that right there.
Right there.
Right there. Right there. I said, that's my idea. That's my idea. And yep.
There's people making crazy money off of
parking lots,
clearing land, buying some corner lots that ain't got nothing on it, or some, you got land where family members and had it in it, it's been in the family forever. They don't care, Nana gone. They just like do whatever.
They don't want to be bothered with it.
They don't want to be bothered with. Put a fence around it, clear it off, and let people park their 18-wheelers there.
That part.
But when you have those dreams, like
you can't sit on them.
You can't sit on them. And sometimes we kind of, and I know, I'm just saying, me personally too, like I get these ideas and these thoughts, and I'm like, man, I got so much going on. I can't add nothing else to my plate.
But sometimes you have to take something off that goes back to holding on.
That's what I was just about to say. Like I had to take some stuff off, like legit. Take some stuff off my plate to make room for the things that I needed to get done. And when I'm no lie. I know we said, girl, stop lying, but this ain't no lie. Like when I remove some stuff off my plate, like in my business, the floodgates open. Legit. Floodgates open. I was like, but dang, I just moved a couple things, and that meant like taking away stuff that to me, I was passionate. In my mind, I was very passionate about, whether it was my boot camp. And I went back and forth, which telling you about I want to still do my boot camp, but I had to take that off my plate because that took up a lot of my time.
Yeah.
Last year with my boot camp, and I was like, Ron, I got to figure out maybe I can make it digital. And I just took it completely off my plate. Right. I still do like the consultation stuff, but it made room for my turnkey program. That is way less time and way better. But sometimes you got to take stuff off. Like, there's nothing wrong with understanding, like, you got to remove things in order to receive what you probably supposed to be doing anyway.
But that's kind of loaded also. And the reason why I say that it's loaded is because, sometimes when people are in business, they feel like they're afraid to say no. For one, they're afraid to say no, and they feel like they have to take every order. You see what I'm saying?
Oh
So that's why
man.
they hold on to those things, because they feel like they're missing money. When in fact, that if you focus
Mhm.
on the things that you have, you're not going to miss anything, because guess what? That extra energy that you were hoping a customer,
Mhm.
you have something solid that's in place that will bring the money and the customers who will spend the coins that will spend the coins with you and don't mind spending the coins.
Boy, listen here.
Hey,
Listen, you done hit the whole thing.
I'm
Like,
just
because when I first started, and me and you had this conversation, like when I first started, like offering, doing the consultations and the courses, I felt
saying,
like I needed to appease
mm-hmm,
people because I wanted to fill my class. I wanted to fill the boot camp up.
mm-hmm,
Like if I said I was doing it for 15 people, like
mm-hmm.
I wanted to have my 15 people. I prefer the waiting list actually, but
Right,
I
right.
at least wanted to get my 15. And so then what I ended up doing was like lowering the prerequisite or the requirements to kind of get
Mm-hmm,
into it, right? To get into the boot camp. So, but
mm-hmm.
then what ended up happening was
I already know what happened.
you worked so hard for them a couple of like
Because
some people.
you attract the people that's not supposed to be there.
That's not your customer. I've done that so much, like where I'm like, you ain't even my client. You ain't
That,
even. I ain't even supposed to be talking to you. You here? I ain't even supposed to be talking to you. Like,
that,
and so it took a little while for me to figure out like it's okay to charge what I charge, and
mm-hmm,
whoever gonna pay it,
is
those
gonna
that's
pay.
my client. Those my clients. The ones that want to say, well, can I split the payments up, or can I do this? Can I like listen? No.
No, because at the end of the day, and people say this all the time, people are gonna pay for what they want. They're gonna pay for what
Mhm.
they want. I don't care if it's $1 or $5,000. They're gonna pay for what they want.
They're gonna
And
pay for what they want.
what people try to do is they try to nickel and dime you to death. And no, and
That's
we
so
have had that
annoying.
conversation before, because let's just be
Mhm.
real, right? It's been times with me where I done came to you, I was like, I don't think I want to do this no more.
Mhm.
It's like, I don't want to do this no more. And you was like, well, what you gonna do? I was like, I don't know, but I know I don't want to do this no more. And that just lets you know how real it can get. You know what I'm saying? Because
Yes, it can be
it's gonna
rough.
change. But yeah,
It can be rough.
when you are lying to yourself, saying that you need to appease everybody and you have to accept every customer, you do not. You do not,
So do
because you
you
have
think that trickles over as a business owner? Do you think that trickles over from you as a person? So if you feel like as Rhonda, if Rhonda is a people pleaser, do you think she'll be a people pleaser in her business?
absolutely. Absolutely.
Hmm.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You said you. I feel like you want to say apps or F and lootly.
Absolutely. I'm trying to work on this stuff. Absolutely. Absolutely. And the reason
So,
why
so
I
it's
say
them
that,
boundaries. Like sometimes it's them
and
boundaries in
they
life.
can't say no. They can't say no.
Mhm. Yeah.
And then that's what caused, like I was having a conversation with this guy who make t-shirts. We started making t-shirts around about the same time. And we were
Hmm.
just having a whole conversation. And I said, you remember when we used to be up at like 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning talking some who up, team no sleep? I'm like, man, I
Oh
need to
yeah,
be
yeah,
at
yeah, yeah,
11.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
you know, things changed. And that was because we thought that we had to please people, and we thought that we had to accept every customer. And now
Right.
I go to bed.
But it's boundaries. It's understanding boundaries. And it took both of us a while, I think, to have hard business hours.
Mm-hmm.
Because we both was like,
And I still
we'll
really
be up
think,
like 12, 1 o'clock, you know what I'm saying, and back up, like you said, at
mhm,
5, but realizing that your customer, if it's really a customer, then they gonna find you. Like
mhm,
they gonna find you. But you gotta get rid of the riffraff. That's
That
not, I don't want to call people riffraff, but
you want to get rid of the people who are not serious
who are
and
not
who don't
serious.
respect
Yeah,
your product or service.
right.
That's who you want to get rid of. That's who you want to get rid of.
Because once you can do that, I think it still go back to how we said the fundamentals. Like when you and I legit had a client today, did a consultation and ready to jump right into what do I need to get started? Well, I mean, technically I can really just give you a checklist. I can give you a checklist on how to get started, but like that's not that ain't gonna do nothing. Like I can tell you a checklist and say, oh, you need to get this, but having the fundamentals, and even on one of my checklists, the first thing that's on the checklist is mindset. Like, so mindset can look different to everybody, but if you're not willing to stay up late some nights, if you're not willing to work late, work early,
miss some
work
stuff
when you're tired, I know I done miss a whole lot of family gatherings, trips, because I just think that it's a time that for me, it was a time that I need to just sit my ass down. Like, I just need to sit down. Like I could go, but I knew it was a time. Like if I wanted to get to where I wanted to go, I had to sit my ass down. And not meaning like you can't go at all, but I had to stop, whether it was spending, whether it was making sure I'm doing enough research, whether it was fostering those ideas that I had and doing the research on how I could implement that stuff. Like if I stayed constantly on the go, then I knew I couldn't get stuff done. Like projects and stuff would just be on my list forever.
And I'm gonna tell you what, one of the things that keep me going and make it okay for me, like missing out on events or not being able to go on trips, whatever, is the old person who's standing at the door at Walmart. I'm so serious. Like I'm not trying to be funny.
Like, where she go? She said
I'm not trying to be funny when I say this. I'm not trying to be funny when I say this. I'm dead serious because of the simple fact that the majority of the people who are older and who stand at the door at Walmart, they don't do it because they want to.
Oh no.
They do it because they have to.
I just don't think that people want to work at Walmart or anywhere when you get a certain age. But you're right. That's a reminder.
That is a huge reminder because
that's a huge reminder.
A big age and have to go and stand in front of a cold door or a hot door, all day long. That's my motivation. That's why I go so hard. Like, look, I got a set time that I'm trying to retire. I want to do a bunch of nothing. And in order for me to do this, I'm going to have to miss some stuff. And I'm okay with it. I don't pay for stuff and I missed it.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So, but it comes with the territory. It comes with the territory. You can't hang out all the time. It'll be all right.
I have times where I want, like, I think people can have a balance. I think you just have to set the balance. Like you as the business owner have to set the balance. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you have, and I mean, this whole work-life balance thing is kind of, we always have this conversation. I feel like there's no such thing as work-life balance. As a full-time entrepreneur, I feel like it's very hard. I think it's more of boundaries than work-life balance. So as long as I have boundaries, meaning, okay, I know I need to get this done in this time frame, or for the next couple of months, I got stuff I need to do. So I'm waking up at 5 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning, get my day started early. And so I just know it's I feel like it's boundaries. Like work, who ain't gonna, go get a pedicure or go get a massage here and there. You know what I'm saying? But I know what I'm trying to do. And so in order for me to get there, I gotta sit my ass down somewhere sometimes.
That part.
I just
But
gotta,
you have, and there's nothing wrong, just depending on what industry that you're in. It may
Mhm.
call for you to be the social butterfly, but sometimes even still, you still have to sit down because you still have to plan and you have to get things in order so that when you are out there being a social butterfly, whatever, is done with purpose, like hustle with purpose.
yeah, I feel
That
like
is.
now that's huge what you said, that hustle with a purpose.
Mhm.
Like doing everything and maybe we see it different because Rhonda dropped off. Let me see where she at. Uh-oh, she done hit something and now she gone. We're gonna see if she make it back. She gone. She probably hit something. I feel like she hit something moving that moving around. Let me see what happened. Who was on the road too, Rhonda? I'm gonna have to call her and ask her what happened. Let me see. I'm gonna try calling her. Hold on. Oh, there she go. I don't know what happened. I was talking. I was just like, I feel like I
I
feel like
tried to
you hit
scoot
something.
up. I tried to scoot up and hit the computer.
I said that. I said, I bet you her moving. She done hit something. And I was like, dang, and we was on a good roll.
Yeah, I was trying to scoot up and hit the computer, but yeah, I'm sorry.
But now you good, you good. Like you said, this we was just talking about that, making, having that drive and just making sure like what you're doing is what you really want to be doing.
Mm-hmm.
And making sure that is purpose behind it. Like even when you, like you said, even if you're a social butterfly and your business requires you to be out and network and just make sure that it's done with purpose and you have a plan.
Mm-hmm.
Because I just remember like I've been to a ton of networking events and I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna stand in the corner.
That part.
Um, or I'm gonna make sure I hand out some business cards, but then talking to it was a mentor that I had and she was telling me that you want to make sure you're the most
Rememberable.
remember I'm a jack that word I love,
Yeah.
but
Make sure people
it's
remember.
almost like the most interesting person.
Right.
So and when you go, like it's not about just going and just saying, hey, my name is Stephanie.
Mm-hmm.
Like this is a certain and talk about your business and service. It's more about making sure that you're having legit great conversations with people to where when you leave their presence, they're like, man, I had a good conversation. Then I'm gonna follow it up with an email like, oh, it was great meeting you. So
Mm-hmm.
then when they come across somebody or if they need my service, then I'm automatically on their brain like, oh man, I met this lady named Stephanie at this networking event.
Mm-hmm.
She would be great. Like I need to connect y'all. And so when you attend networking events or you're out, doing that marketing thing for your business, you just have to make sure that you're interested, like people are interested in what you have and what you're
And who
talking
you
about.
are. Mm-hmm. Yeah, people get networking so mixed up. I went to a networking event. You lying. You went, but you didn't do nothing. We have to tie it in.
Oh, listen. I didn't know where you listen. I was like, where's she going? Hey Janet, how you ladies call me? Somebody what
So how dare you, ladies?
I promise you, if you known it, we was not calling you out.
We were
I said,
not.
how dare you ladies call me out throughout this podcast? You don't even know me. Thank you both for sharing. She said, I've been ready to stop lying. Listen, I'm glad you're ready to stop lying.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
all are, but we all lie
Yeah, but we just have to have an honest conversation with
with
ourselves,
ourselves.
just to determine, you know, if this is really what you want to do. Like, you don't have to lie just because
You
the
ain't gotta lie, Craig.
world
You ain't gotta
expects
lie.
that part. The world expects you to do a certain thing. Like with me,
Mhm.
people expect me to do t-shirts. Rhonda, you still make t-shirts? Kinda.
That's
You know,
that, but I think that's that box. Like I am so over people putting me in a box.
mm-hmm.
Like, and so I did a post like I don't really have room for fake friends,
Yeah.
fake family members,
Fake
um,
anybody.
great
Fake
people.
customers.
Cause I don't really have the energy for it anymore. And so I just
Don't.
don't like.
Yeah, like I've learned to be,
No.
especially in my industry, I've learned to be cordial. Like I'm never gonna intentionally be mean.
Oh
However,
yeah,
I've learned how to be cordial because you know people will try you.
yeah. I'm probably I don't know. I don't be mean. I'm not gonna be mean, but I just don't give people that energy anymore.
Mhm.
So if you ain't Team Stephanie,
Then who are you?
who you with? Like what you
That
mean?
part.
If you know me, to know me is to love me. If
Mm-hmm.
you know me, you know one, I'm just saying as my for my services, I'm gonna give probably 140%. If you attend
Every time.
anything,
Every time.
I'm coming in giving.
Mm-hmm.
But that's very draining for people that are unappreciative.
That part. That part.
So I just had to learn, and I learned the hard way. Like, you know, if you want to put me in a box, if you think only thing Stephanie is known for is the NEMT guru, or Stephanie's only known for transportation, but by the time you wake up this 2025, you're gonna be like, wait a minute, Stephanie doing what?
Mm-hmm.
I'm like,
That,
oh yeah.
but
But I don't want people to do that. I don't want to be with people or be around people that want to put me and my business, the services, or what I can do in a box.
yeah, yeah. And that's why I'm so strung out and so hardcore about this pivot. Because
Mhm.
I feel like, you know, with my business, people automatically just put me in the box like you can't do anything else. But when I open up my mouth and speak, they looking like, oh my God, I didn't know that you knew that. Absolutely, I knew that. What's wrong with
Yeah,
you?
because they put their own, and what's the word I want to use?
Stigma?
Like
Is it stigma?
they put in their own whatever they thinking. I can't even think of the word I want to use,
Oh,
but so you might think of Stephanie. It's still that box, but you're thinking Stephanie one way in this one lane, and
mm-hmm.
so because you thinking that way, that's not really my reality. Like that's just how you see me, and there's
That's
nothing that I can do about that. Like,
yeah,
and
yeah.
I don't even try to convince people that I do something else, or I can add other services, or yeah, I still do transportation, but I also provide behavioral health services. I also
Mm-hmm.
do a little, you know, I do a little podcast. You know
You're
what I'm
right.
saying? I also do meet and greet networking events. And
Mm-hmm.
so when people say, well, damn, but it's still all around the core thing of business and this entrepreneurship journey
Right.
that we talk about, and how you get from where I was, because you think like where we were
Mm-hmm.
is what we prayed about then, probably. Like
We're living the prayers that
we're
we
living the
prayed
prayer.
years
So now your prayer is different.
ago. Mm-hmm.
And 2026, 2027, you'll be looking back and be like, oh man, I was praying about this thing a couple years ago or a year ago.
That part.
So
That
this don't. I'm just a firm believer. Like if you put me in a box, I'm probably not gonna talk to you that much. And I'm just saying, like family or friends. If you think,
Mhm.
oh, well, Stephanie just is this lane, and it's like when you hit Atlanta, and you might have started off with a 2 lane, and then you just notice that your
It
car, you're able to go in multiple lanes. It's the same thing with entrepreneurship or
Right.
your business. I
Right.
can start off here, and then I realize like, oh man, I can do this. And I'm like, oh, I can do this. And next thing you know, you've added multiple services to your business that still sticks to the core of
And that
what
you're actually
you're
good
doing.
at.
That
That you're
you
actually
that you're
good at.
actually good at, and you don't really realize it until you really start doing it, and you come out the box that other people have put you in, not
And that's,
necessarily yourself.
but that's also part of having like a good team or a good solid core or circle of people that
Mhm.
around you, because sometimes what you can do is when you talking, it may not even be intentional. You can pull stuff out of people to let them
Right,
know, like, hey, I see this, you too close to it. This is the reason why you frustrated, is
right.
because you don't see the greatness that you already do or that you already
Yeah, I
have.
think that's huge.
So so that's why it's good to have good people that you can talk to honestly and
Honestly,
receive information,
right.
and don't get caught up in your feelings, because if it's your circle or if it's your core, it's out of love. And
It's
even if
out of
it's not
love.
my circle and not my core, I'm still not going to take it to heart, because it's just business. you
Yeah.
know Sometimes we're too close to the project to see the flaws that it may have, and sometimes we need somebody from the outside looking in to
Mhm.
point certain things out.
Yeah, the point
That's
of things out. And it's so I think it's okay. Like I used to be like if I ain't really know you like that, like I don't want you telling me nothing. Not not like that. Like I just think you don't know me. So you don't
Mhm.
even what you tell how you why are you talking to me like
Right,
that? Like
right.
but I had to learn, and it's been years now, but I had to learn like they're seeing something that I just don't see.
Yeah, because they're the outside looking in.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
the outside looking in, and like I said, you're too close. You don't see it. You won't see it. So yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
I think for sure, like I definitely take that constructive feedback, whether it's good or bad, but
Mhm.
I take it a lot better than I used to because like I just knew that was part of my growth journey.
And
Like
that's
I
what I
know I know I've grown because I'm able to take something that I might have wrote down and it might seem like I feel like I done worked all the kinks and stuff, and somebody come in and say, like I don't even think they ain't
it's
gonna say it like that, but
correction
they
right there. It's a
like I don't know if you're ready to kind of roll that thing out yet, girl. So because remember I told you even when I did my subscription program,
mm-hmm.
and I thought about it, and it just came to me like, oh, I'm gonna do like a subscription program for, and I rolled it out, and I didn't do a good job at all rolling it out. I rolled it out, really do a whole lot of marketing,
Mm-hmm.
but rolled it out anyway. And I had people to sign up, but I guess I kind of missed the mark, and I won't say I guess I just missed the mark when it came to the substance and
Mm-hmm.
what people would get from it, like what tangible things people would get
Mm-hmm.
from this subscription program. And I dropped it, like I let it go. 2 years later, now today, brought it back, but added to where
Added value.
added way more value to this program, and you actually get a lot more because now I've learned a lot more. I'm
Mm-hmm.
able to provide way more options for people
Mm-hmm.
that are already in business. Like I've just learned I don't really want to work with people that are startups when it comes to the subscription program anyway, like
Mm-hmm.
because they're gonna have way more questions. So I had to tweak it. Like
Right.
and at first I was real bothered. Like, what you mean y'all what y'all mean y'all don't want to sign? But like I was like, well really, like what they getting?
Right. 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 Girl.
I was like, dang.
Yeah.
So we talked about a lot of stuff. We talked about these new beginnings, these 2025 goals. Hopefully, I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of vision boards, but if you are, help yourself, knock yourself out. However, I think what has happened with vision boards is people just like the way they look. Like
Mm.
they like the aesthetics of a vision board, and that's cool.
Well, you're gonna
But
like the one that's at the brunch because it's not your typical one.
right now, yours was good because it wasn't like a vision board. I'm talking about those people that do like the vision boards and they put them on their wall and they just let them sit and they don't really do anything with anything.
What I think is more of a it doesn't have any substance anymore. Like it doesn't have anything behind it. It's just a trend that people doing. Like, oh, we're going to a vision board party. Let's go. You know, it's one of those type of situations. But you know, I'm a firm believer of writing down your goals.
Oh, now I definitely think you need to write stuff down. Oh yeah. Yeah, now I definitely write down my goals. I definitely keep quarterly goals and yearly, but I think mine just looks different. Like and my vision, my thing is not about my vision, it's more about goals that I need to get done.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Whether it's personal life or my business, like writing down my goals and even down to, you know, how we always talk about even them tasks, like having tasks to do in my business every day. Like if you own a business, I'm a firm believer like you should be doing something in your business
every day.
Every day. Every day.
Whether you work or not, you should. Because if
every
you
day.
go to somebody else's job and work for them all day, you can
come
home and dedicate, you know, that's another lie people be telling. But you can come home and work at least an hour, 30 minutes or whatever.
Even if it's like it could be something very simple, but I think you should really be doing something in your business every day. If you haven't done anything in your business for 2 weeks,
something's wrong.
Something's missing.
Something's wrong.
And I ain't even saying like nothing drastic. Like it could be, you know, posting on social media. It could be, you know, making sure, you know, that your website is up to date. It could be connecting with people. Whatever something is, but I know even when I left, you know, my job, like I still made sure I did stuff every day.
When I left my job, I kept pretty much the same routine. I did not sleep in. I still got up. I still had a full day because I knew personally, like when you know yourself, you know that those bad habits will creep in real quick.
Oh, them things creep in. Listen, you can't be like, oh man, I'm a transition. I'm leaving my job. I'm gonna take like 2 weeks off, and then I'm gonna be a full-time entrepreneur.
I maybe took a day.
Yeah,
maybe took a day, but I had to keep that same schedule because I know how I am.
That momentum. I think it's that momentum, like keeping that momentum going. But just making sure whether you a full-time entrepreneur or you still work a job. And then do you think this is like the last topic before we get off here? This is the last one I had that we need to talk about.
Okay.
I think you mentioned this one when we were meeting about what we was going to talk about. You said if you have a job, do you get some leeway on your goals and your dreams?
No.
That was your. I wrote this down. This is what Rhonda said.
I don't believe that, you know, you should slack off just because you have a job. Like my goals right now are just as aggressive, if not more, than when I had a job and was working my business. And I'm built different. I'm built different, but I'm built different. That's all I can say. I love aggressive.
They're not like us. They're not like us. Or are you saying I'm different? Yeah, I'm different. I'm different. Yeah, I'm.
But in all seriousness, like I set aggressive goals for the sole purpose that if I don't meet that goal, I will still have some level or feel some level of accomplishment. Like my goals are stupid aggressive, stupid. But to most people, it would scare them. But that's what drives me. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna get this. Like when 2 people told me that the reason why I made my money was because of them. I was like,
oh yeah, I remember that. I remember
Watch
that.
this. Watch this. You know, stuff like that drives me.
Yeah,
Drives me.
that'd be
So
some good fuel. Like, what you mean?
exactly. I can show you better than I can tell you, baby.
Yeah.
And look, I keep the numbers. I got the numbers.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that still go back to that whole idea too of like, um, you know how people always like, oh, you know, if you super busy, then you must be making a lot of money. And
No,
that's that. Listen, that issue's overrated. Like that whole
that's
thing
a lie.
of you got to be working harder, not smarter,
That's
is crazy. Like somebody, you know, people on social media still are like, oh, you know, you got to work, you got to, you know, you might get 2 hours of sleep. Like
mm-mm,
I don't
mm-mm.
want to say the phrase that other people say, but it's like it's equivalent to booked and that
Busy.
booked and busy.
But this is the thing. This is the thing. When people like, oh, I want to wish booked and busy on everybody in my timeline. Don't wish that on me.
I
Don't
don't
wish
want
that
no
on me.
parts of it.
And the reason why, and I got this from I don't know if you know Super, but I got this from her. She said that when you are no, they said booked and sold out. I'm wishing booked and sold out on for everybody on my timeline. Don't wish sold out on me because when you sold out, guess what? Your money stopped.
Yeah, I don't want to be sold out.
Nope. Mm-mm. And
And
people don't.
I definitely don't want to be that old thinking of booked and busy. Like,
Mm,
so
mm-mm.
you thinking because you're not busy. To me, that kind of thing that goes back to like if I'm that busy, that means that my prices is off.
And it
Like if
means your systems are not in place.
you ain't got systems like working for you, you know,
Mm-hmm.
to where you don't have to be present. And again, it's still going to depend on your product or service that you offer.
Right.
Right? If you offer a service that may require you to have longer hours, then that's what it is. But I still think like that whole thing of I need to be booked all the time,
Mm-mm.
it still goes back to
What you
like,
said, pricing.
huh?
Pricing. Your
Yeah,
pricing.
so I feel like it still kind of go back to your pricing or your systems and software that you have in place.
Right.
But it's not for every business. Like so that's like if I say, oh man, you know, I have courses back to back and I
Mm-hmm.
have consultations all day. Well, I'm doing something wrong
Right.
because I don't want to be doing consultations all day. And
Right.
I don't want to be behind a screen teaching all day either.
Mhm. And you know that goes back to what I tell my people when I go live on TikTok or whatever is you wanna find something or some way to monetize your skill set.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
Monetize your skill set. If you're good at speaking, okay, record some stuff, read some books or something,
Right.
or something. But
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
you want to set those systems up where you can have stuff flowing even when you are not. And that's why the shift came with digital products or whatever because you create
Oh
at
yeah.
one time, and guess what? You can sell it over and over and over and over and
Over
over
and
again,
over and
and
over,
you wake up
over,
with money. And guess what?
over and over,
You asleep and paid.
over and over and over. I still have my ebooks and stuff that and my policies procedures on my website that people order that I don't have to. I mean, I went in probably August of last year or September and updated my ebook that I did 2 years before,
Mhm.
like because things change
Right.
in this industry. And I just, you know, I went in and updated, but digital products, it depends on, I guess again, it depends on what business you're in, but digital products
Is
is
where it's at. Is where it at. But I'll tell you, I'll be honest with you. One mistake that I made that I didn't realize until like last year is that with the digital products or whatever,
mhm.
no matter what industry you're in, somebody is always starting whatever it is that you.
Somebody is
Somebody is
always
always starting.
starting.
And that's the thing. And people they sell themselves short. Well, I don't know what to do. Yes, you do. You just need to monetize your skill set, but also you have to
Mm.
kind of bring it to people. You can't just expect
Mhm.
to go to your website and find it. You know, you have to talk about
Mhm.
it, kind of have to put it in their face or whatever. Or, you know, you can use that as a lead magnet to pull people in so that they can buy other stuff that you offering. You know,
That's a good, very good point. Like
mhm.
monetize off your skill set.
Monetize your skill set.
Mhm.
Because every entrepreneur that's out here is good at something. Otherwise, you would not be in business.
Everybody is good. Listen, everybody is good at something. Sometimes you just don't realize
Hmm.
your superpower that you're good at.
You need to figure
But
out what everybody comes to you and ask you about, and you give it away for free. That's what you should monetize.
that's what you need to monetize on. That's a fact. Because when
And
I was getting people asking before with NEMT, when it wasn't any courses, it was no
mm,
such thing. It was no courses out there.
it's still new.
It was still fairly new to people, and people would ask me like, "How did you get started?" And somebody just said like, "Listen, you done been doing it long enough. You might not consider yourself a quote unquote expert,
Or
but it's people that are in a phase of their business that you have already passed
and they're stuck.
and they're stuck. And you have this knowledge in your head that you can share. And digital products, if it's a good digital product in an industry that people are trying to get into,
Mhm.
and they know that you offer this digital product,
Mhm.
you're going, if you ain't even gotta sell it for a whole lot.
Mhm.
My ebook is $20, like 20 or $25 or something.
You better than me. Look,
But
but here's the
your
thing.
your ebook is longer than mine. Right? Mine is
It's
not that
about
long.
what? 10 pages?
Yeah. Oh well, no, mine is like, I think mine is like $24.99 or $25
And
or
that's the
something.
thing. That's the thing. Like I had somebody come to me. They were like, "Well, Rhonda, how much you charge for your ebooks?" I said, "Well, which one?" You know, they start. I have one that started like 10, but it go all the way up to $147. And people like $147. Yep, and they pay for it every day, all day.
Because I think an ebook, the thing with an ebook or digital products, period.
Digital product. Mm-hmm.
Digital products is something that I can buy, whether it's a video
Mm-hmm.
or ebook, excuse me. I can buy it and go back and look at it every day. I
Mm-hmm.
can have it 6 months
Mm-hmm.
and go back and look at it. And so when people say, "Well, why do you have this price?" is because I'm not talking to you. I'm physically giving you a product that you will always have my information that
Right.
I gave you.
Right. But also you understand that's understanding the value in it.
Hmm.
People don't understand that. You know, that's a whole nother topic for another day. But you
Yeah.
know, they don't understand that. They don't understand that. So my piece of advice to people, if you are in business, get you some type of digital product that, like Stephanie said, it doesn't even have to cost that much. You know, because
Yeah.
if 100 people buy a $20 item, you do the math.
And that's just passive money. That's not even what you do. That's just that passive money.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and imagine, even if it's an extra $500 a month, if it's extra, whatever it is extra.
It's
Like to me,
extra.
it's extra. It's like on top of.
And look, what's funny is I meant to bring this up earlier. Is I was on somebody else's live today, and they're in the medical industry, and
Mhm.
they do all type of stuff. And I said, "Well, do you deal with this particular type of clinic?" "Oh, I don't know anything too much about that." I said, oh, "Okay, Stephanie, that
Mm,
that particular kind of clinic that you transport for,
mm. Oh, that clinic.
that clinic."
That clinic.
Mhm. Yeah,
Boy, that clinic.
I said, "Oh, okay." You know, and you can find out things from people, from other people, or you can be subtle about it, you know,
Yeah.
to see what people need.
All you gotta do is ask a couple of
Questions come
questions.
out. It will come out. But
And
yeah,
it could be just like, wait, like you could be on A Street. You could be in front of them on A Street, but you can go all the way around to J Street and come back to A Street, and they still don't know that's why you asked the question. But I don't have to come out and say, well, do you do this? Or how do you know how to do this? No, I'm gonna ask it a different way till you're gonna answer my question, then it's gonna make you think like, okay.
And that's a form of research.
Mm-hmm.
That's a form of research because people gonna tell you what it is that they need, whether they intend to or not.
Because most time your customer don't know that they need what you have until you tell them that they need what you have.
That part.
I'm a firm believer of that. Like I have to even if I am talking to a facility that needs transportation, they don't know. They think they got the answers for everything, but they don't know that they need what I'm offering till I tell them. They might say we have vehicles or drivers, but you ain't got a driver every day.
But see this is so funny because this whole conversation has come full circle. Because it goes back to being able to talk about your business, to tell people about, what it is that you offer, the value that you can bring them. But people don't want to talk about their business. They're afraid. And they think that they want to do something. And they can't even tell the people what it is that they need because they're trying to do it for a trend or for a quick buck.
Yeah, that's the whole. Listen, I'm talking all day. From the top of the mountain. From the top of the mountain. And I ain't no talking person like that, but I can talk about my business. I ain't no can. I am talking about my business every chance I get. And I legit expect people in my circle to talk about my business too. Like if you come across somebody, and I was just telling my daughter about one of my friends, she ain't in business. She don't know. She worked, but she know her friend Stephanie is a Medicaid provider and do transportation. Every time she come across somebody, she gonna tell them, "Oh, my girlfriend Stephanie do that. Here go her phone number," and she'll text me like, "I gave such and such your phone number. They gonna call you."
Baby, I got one better than that. I was at somebody's little get together thing, and somebody who knew me and they didn't know exactly who they were. They was like, "Hey, Rhonda." I was like, "Hey," and they was like, "Such and such, such." I said, "Well, what you doing now?" "Well, I'm about to start transport." I was like, "Well, my friend Stephanie, she's gonna be here in February. You need to check her out because blah 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 blah." Here go her website right here, blah 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 blah, and still don't know her name. But she know about you.
But she know about you. Yes, she know about me. But to me, if you don't have people that are going to offer your business, talk about your business and the service and product, I don't want you in my circle. Like I want you to be just as excited about my business.
Because I'm gonna get mad if you're not. I'm like, why you not excited like I'm excited?
Or if I come across that person and they like, "Rhonda, why you ain't tell me Stephanie did transportation?" I'm gonna be looking at you like, what we doing, Rhonda? What's that?
Look, the only way they not gonna know you do transportation is if they didn't tell me they did transportation.
They didn't tell. But if I come across somebody that I know very well and you didn't tell them that I offered this service, or if somebody say, "Rhonda, I'm trying to start a transportation business," and Rhonda's like, "I don't know, girl. You better go to YouTube."
Look, the only time I'm gonna do that is if I know. I'm like, you are not her customer.
Oh yeah, now this.
Because I'm not gonna get a phone call from you like, "Rhonda, why you tell that person?"
Why you gave that person my information? But I think it's just all about, like you said, like full circle, even making sure that you have the right people in your corner. That's gonna push you, and that's gonna lift you up. Like I think that's so important in this entrepreneurship journey. I don't want to talk to nobody that's a Debbie Downer. I don't want to talk to nobody. I want you to be honest with me if I tell you about something I'm trying to do, but I don't want to be around nobody that's like,
that part.
Or
what they doing, Stephanie?
You still doing that little transportation thing?
Live.
Are you a Lyft driver? What you doing? What you do? You take people?
You still going to work?
You still exactly. My shady self would be like, you still working that 9 to 5?
That part. That you
But I
still
think
working.
if that just go back to us wrapping up, like just making sure you have the right people in your ear that's going to support your goals and your dreams that you have, and they're not going to, even if they give you pointers, they're not picking it apart or tearing it down in such a negative way that discourages you
Right.
from doing that thing.
Cause I'm gonna be honest with you. You made me want to get my stuff. I'm like, dang, Stephanie got her stuff all the way together. I'm trying to be like her.
Girl.
I'm like, whoo. I'm like, golly. And even like tonight, kind of she was like, okay, so what you want to do, Rhonda? Because I was like, I need to take some time off from work. I need a break.
Yes, listen, y'all that go back and listen to the replay, y'all hear she done quit again.
Look, Curtis that came up with me a whole schedule. Told her, you can go up there about 2 times a week. I'm sure she needs some help with something.
Listen, I honestly like, I'm gonna tell you, and I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna get off. We're gonna get off here. Like,
okay.
when I tell you I took stuff off my plate, like I took off stuff that I honestly was very passionate about, which is my course and stuff. But when I stepped into this arena of behavior health, Rhonda, when I tell you the doors, and the day just Tuesday, when I tell you the doors that have opened and the partnerships is really mind blowing. It's almost scary because I just did, and you know what I'm saying? I'm just thinking like, I've only been doing this for less than a year. But again, I feel like I have put in so much work. And so when I say I took stuff off my plate, I legit took off stuff that was my breadwinner in my business. You know what I'm saying? And so I just tell people like, don't ever doubt that you can't do what you think you can do.
Right.
Don't let nobody tell
you. If it was put on you,
if it was put on you, if it was put on you, legit put on you to do it, then the doors, you're gonna be able to just walk through the doors. I wholeheartedly believe that. Like you're just gonna be the doors will open, but again, you have to be willing to take, sometimes it's really just taking that risk on yourself and saying, I can do this, and being dedicated to that process on what I can do this looks like. But
I absolutely
this a week has been mind blowing for me. Like
it's Tuesday.
And it's Tuesday. And so I just tell people like, don't let nobody take away what your dreams and your goals are. As long as you put in the work and you know that's what you're supposed to be doing.
Right.
Then get through it.
And don't sleep on your gifts and talents. Don't.
Do not sleep on your gifts and talents.
Do
not sleep on your gifts and talents.
Do not.
Listen, we wrapping this thing up. We just decided to do this live, but our next recording, and we'll probably do the next one live. It'll be February 27th.
Right.
And we're going to talk about when to let go. Like, when do you let things go, whether it's personal, most of the time, but more so in business.
Right.
And, these different things that we do in our business as entrepreneurs to try to figure it out. But when is when?
Right. When is when?
When is when? You say, okay, I done tried it all, but it's time to let this thing go. So hopefully everybody enjoyed it. If you come in and catch the replay, please, leave a comment, and me and Rhonda will see you next month.
Time.
Next time. Good night.